We might be in the dog days of summer by now, but that doesn't mean that the news front for Terraria is slow. Far from it. In fact, this month's State of the Game update post by Loki is loaded with big developments. So stay tuned because this covers everything from PC to mobile to console development. I'm not hyping this up. There's some pretty big changes underway with the development across the whole spectrum of Terraria platforms. So without further ado, let's hear from Loki what he had to say. Greetings Terrarians, we have a pretty packed bunch of news this month as we turn the corner from the scorching heat of the summer months into the cooler climate of fall, one of our favorite seasons. We hope that everyone is staying safe out there and that those of you that have returned to work or school have been able to do so smoothly. We have a lot to cover, so let's dive right in, shall we? And they began with this image from the 1.4.1 effort that's underway for the last real patch to Terraria. And these are achievements. The caption was, brand new achievements are heading your way, because who doesn't like achievements, right? And so I suspect whenever 1.4.1 arrives, not just for PC, but for any other version that carries achievements or trophies, or whatever they're called for your platform, looks like you've got, 15 new achievements. So that's a lot. Anyway, for this, Loki wrote, so you thought we would ride into the sunset once 1.4.05 was released. Just when we thought we had escaped, Terraria 1.4.1 pulls us back in. What all is in 1.4.1? Besides those super cool vanity contest sets and localizations, of course? You'll have to wait and see for yourself. That said, we wouldn't want to leave you totally in the dark for another month, and hence the sharing of the achievements image, so that's interesting. The PC platform has certainly received the vanguard of all updates for Terraria. We've been spoiled, but here's a nice little tidbit, so that was good. But that was it pretty much for PC for the month of August. Obviously, they're still hard at work for 1.4.1. They say, of course, what you really want to know is when. We do not yet have an exact date to give you for 1.4.1, but we will say it is getting quite close indeed. Hang in there just a bit more. So it sounds like it's not in the terribly distant future. Again, we've been kind of spoiled on PC, so I think we can manage. Especially in light of the fact that we do have TModloader, which is again featured in the State of the Game post. I don't really need to share anything other than the fact that they link to it and they invite contributions to the community. If you're curious, I will link to the official State of the Game post in the video description if you want to read more. But moving on to what is the big news of the month, at least in my estimation, is this. Console and Switch development is moving to DR Studios. That's right, Pipeworks will no longer be working on it. This is all DR Studios now, which if you're familiar with them, they are the very talented team that has made great progress on mobile Terraria's development. So it's a bit of a shake-up. Anyway, in regards to this big bombshell of news, they had this to say. We have some pretty big news to share with you this month on the Terraria console Switch development front. We have made the decision to move future development work for console and Switch to the team at DR Studios. As part of the 505 Games group, this creates a lot of efficiencies because Pipeworks has been independent for a few years now, and this move affords them the ability to work on other projects and their own intellectual property. That being said, we wanted to take the time to reflect on the work in partnership with Pipeworks Studios and follow it up with more detail on our plan moving forward. The impact that Pipeworks has had on the console Terraria space cannot be understated, and we are appreciative of their amazing work and contributions to Terraria, with the old console codebase needing a full rework in order to make the leap from 1.2.4 into the 1.3 tier content. Pipeworks took the challenge head-on, ultimately delivering every content update from the 1.3 era, as well as collaborating with Relogic on the design for Switch. Pipeworks also assisted in building the Terraria community, regularly hosting live streams, and providing customer and QA support for console. Not only did Pipeworks accomplish all of this, but they also brought Terraria to the Nintendo Switch. This required a lot of attention to detail and experimentation, as the team wanted to take advantage of all that the Switch had to offer, with a particular focus on touch controls. The team is justifiably proud of this work. To cap it all off, the Pipeworks team made good on the promise of two-player split-screen play with their final update to Terraria 1.3.5 coming soon. DR Studios wanted to share the following with everyone as they take the baton from Pipeworks on consoles. The Terraria development team at DR are super excited to be handed the big three consoles on top of the Apple, Google, and Amazon mobile versions. Having added support for controllers on mobile this year, we are aware of the design challenges that we are facing bringing 1.4 to the big screen. We are indebted to Pipeworks for their previous work on the mobile version and now again on the console ports. We wish them all the best in their future projects and are proud to continue their hard work bringing Journey's End to even more platforms and players. We trust that you will join 505 Games and Relogic in sending a sincere and heartfelt thank you to Pipeworks for all of their contributions to Terraria and its community. We hope that you will use this thread, social media, and more to find fun ways to share your appreciation. Thank you, Pipeworks. So that's the big change, right? I will say, if you're not familiar, that the track record for DR Studios has been awesome. They basically rescued the 1.3 mobile effort and turned it around in, relatively speaking, really rapid time. So they've got a good track record for the mobile development, and if their console efforts are anywhere near as good as the mobile development, the transfer should be putting the development into good hands with DR Studios. Not to take anything away from Pipeworks, of course, but who knows, maybe having one studio lead the development for all of these platforms might make things more streamlined and move more quickly. Who knows? I guess we just have to wait and see and hold out hope that that's the case. Anyway, there was a message from Pipeworks. I'm not going to read it. Again, it's in the official post if you want to go through it. It's fairly long, but suffice it to say that they were given a full chance to discuss the work and their recollections of the Terraria development from their perspective. So if you're interested, it's all there for you to read. Moving on, though, as you might be wondering, they have a headline, what does this mean for 1.4 on consoles? Timing? And to that, Loki writes, as with all moves of this sort, we are sure that a lot of the console community will assume that this means delays, or worse, to Terraria 1.4. We want to share a few things to avoid any unfounded rumors. Terraria 1.4 is absolutely being worked on and will come to console, Switch, and mobile. Mobile will likely arrive first, but there are a lot of efficiencies that will come to bear and assist the development of console and Switch. We do not have exact timing for any of this to share just yet, but we are hopeful to give you a meaningful update on progress across the board by the next State of the Game. So that's really it for now. So they sound optimistic. I know they're probably going to put a brave face on it come what may, but I think with the DR Studios track record, and of course the solid work that Pipeworks has put in so far, it shouldn't create too much of a hiccup. So, with any luck, knock on wood, they won't miss a beat in development, and we'll see 1.4 coming to all these other platforms in the not terribly distant future, but we'll just have to wait and see. Specifically to PS4 and Xbox One, all they really mention is the fact that there was the quality of life patch out recently. I made a video maybe a week or two about that. If you're curious, I'll include a link to it in the video description. Just as I said, some quality of life improvements and a few patches. When it comes to the Nintendo Switch, they had this to say. As we have mentioned in the past few State of the Game posts, a concerted effort has been made behind getting two-player split screen up and running in a viable way on Nintendo Switch. We are happy to report that as of the writing of this month's State of the Game, the split screen enabled build for Terraria on Nintendo Switch is under review at Nintendo, having passed our own internal checks. We know this has been a long time coming, and we are beyond excited to finally make this a reality for our Nintendo Switch Terrarians. We do not yet know when it will make through make it through Nintendo review and into your hands, but the instant we know more about timing, we will pass along the happy news to all of you. And so that wrapped up the console and Switch news for the month. Moving on to probably what is on many of your minds, what about mobile? Well, there was some interesting stuff, as you might imagine, and let's begin with Loki's statement on this. Hello everyone. Have you been able to keep track of the smattering of spoilers that have been shared over the last month? They are out there, lurking in the shadows. I wonder if he's referring to my videos. At any rate, he continues with, but just in case you missed them, we have included the best of these and more below for your viewing pleasure. Over the past month, the team has at long last accomplished the Herculean feat that is getting 6 updates worth of content up and running in our test builds. What does that mean? That means we can share that we feel we are at the beta stage of development. Still lots of tweaks and polish and fixing and optimizations to do, but still a fantastic milestone. What's that? You want to see more? Well, fine. Have it your way. And although this came with a disclaimer that blah blah blah, this is subject to change, they shared this video of a very fancy Happy Gilmore-like shot from the mobile Terraria 1.4 golf game. Pretty interesting. Good shot, Loki. He shared this on Twitter the other day. Some of you may have already seen it. But anyway, there's the golf in action. It looks to me like it's working quite well. And I have to say, I'm not overly familiar with the golf side of things. It's not been my focus when playing. But from everything I'm seeing, they're making, well, you can see for yourself, it looks good, right? But that wasn't all. They also shared this, which seems to indicate that the special seeds from the PC 1.4 will also be a part of mobile 1.4. So presumably the World Seed generation system is going to be implemented for other platforms as well. If you're wondering generating bees, well, let's cut to this next image. It's one of the few special seeds available at the moment for Terraria, and it includes basically a really dangerous honey-infested world where all the water is replaced by honey. There are beehives everywhere. You can spawn, as you might imagine, a ton of queen bees in this world. It's very dangerous, and it's interesting to see it working with all the mobile setup, the mobile resolution, the mobile controls. I have to say it's looking good. There's a lot to take in here, of course. Pretty much everything you see is new. It's 1.4 specific, so it's a good demonstration of the 1.4 build in action. So there you have it. But that wasn't it. Loki also carried on with, as always, the key question is when, right? We have a good amount of bugs to squash and performance optimizations to pursue. So things are not quite ready for prime time just yet. But we can definitively say that all of the wonderful content from 1.3.1 to 1.4.05 is now live and available in our test development builds. So, mobile Terrarians, you're getting ever closer each day to your own journey's end. We are looking forward to sharing the latest and greatest as development plows ahead for mobile and for consoles. Stay tuned. And that really wrapped up the month's content updates. They also had some community aspects to the post in terms of some community art, fan contributions, some Discord news. Evidently there was a grand prize winner, so congratulations, Mr. Glitch. If you're on the Discord frequently, Mr. Glitch, hashtag 6008, or I guess Mr. Glitch number 6008 is the grand prize winner of the Terraria Discord server's prize contest. I'm not familiar with it. At any rate, congratulations, and that's pretty much it. So the big news, of course, is the change to DR Studios for an across-the-board work, other than, of course, PC development, which has always remained at Relogic. But adios, Pipeworks, and hello once again to DR. You've got an enhanced role in Terraria's development. So fingers crossed, it means mobile development, console development, and the hybrid console Switch development all goes swimmingly from here on out. So that's it. I'll stop rambling on, but of course I will keep my eyes to Discord and Twitter and any other sources of news. And if there's anything worth making a video about, I'll be sure to do it. So thanks for watching if you stayed this long, and I will see you next time.